I was a little starstruck. I talked to George Romero and Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, on the same day. What was the first time you were just starstruck? You're like, oh my God, I'm talking to blah, blah, blah. Who was that person you were talking to and you were like, holy
Trent
smokes?
Reznor was my first interview. Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails. And Nine Inch Nails was a band that's basically, as for many fans, saved my life, you know. And I was 19. It was my first interview. It wasn't for Uranium yet. And I had to mic him up, you know, and I obviously have the hots for Trent, you know, like I'm a 19-year-old girl at the time, whatever. And I had to like mic him up, put the lava on him, you know, and I'm like...
That's lavalier mic, the little mic for the people not in the business. That's the lavalier mic, the little tiny dot.
Goes on your belt. And so I had to put it on his belt, and I had to pick up his shirt and put the wire. My hands were shaking so bad that I couldn't get the clip on his belt. And he's looking at me like I'm a freak, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I've been waiting to meet you my whole life. And after that, you know, I started talking about my shit. He saw that I wasn't just some ditzy bitch that didn't know what she was talking about, and the interview was amazing.
How did he treat you?
He was so respectful, so articulate. Like, the interview was only supposed to be 20 minutes. It went 45. His people kept being like, Trent, we gotta go. And he's like, no, I want to talk to this girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was like, ah!
Yo. All right, I got to say one thing about Trent Reznor, the latest album, the Rehab album. Do you think bands should do rehab albums or not? I mean, 99.9% of the Rehab albums, you got to admit, they're a little hard to listen to.
Absolutely. I think, I know this sounds really messed up, and I'm sure...
I mean, metal lifestyle, dude. I'm throwing back some beers, I'm smoking a cigarette, and I might smoke something else.
Exactly.
I might take a pill.
You know, and I'm going to be honest, that's the lifestyle. And you know what? Sex, drugs, rock and roll, live fast, die young. I'm not one to tell people to do drugs or to drink, but it is part of the lifestyle. And if all your life, while you created, you know, you were under some kind of influence, therefore it was some kind of muse for you in a way, it often happens that the Rehab albums are just not quite to the hit.
I don't feel they have the anger. Because you know what? On a Rehab album,
different place. You're bitter. You're angry.
And you're gonna hear. You're also gonna hear Recover and Discover at least once per album. And I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, totally. Because you know what, bitch? We haven't recovered or discovered, and you know what? We're not ready. But you know, I'm gonna be honest. It was a good record, but it's not what I expected. It's not what I wanted. But I'm okay with that because you know what? They fucking put out enough records that were the bomb.
They did more harm than. I mean, they did more good than harm.
Yeah, like every record up to this one was perfection in my opinion, and this one was not bad. It was just not that next level that I wanted from him. But you know what? I'm happy that he's at a certain point in his life where he's actually happy. I mean, shit, you know, he's like in his 30s, so he's done, you know, let's say 25 years worth of misery. You know what, Trent? Fucking awesome. Drink your coffee. Stop lifting the weights a little. You're freaking me out. You're a little too butch for me. But you know what? I'd still fuck you.
How many albums can you just go, okay, they had an off album? How many? My album limit is 2. If they fuck up twice in a row,
completely.
I'm done.
You're done. Yeah, I agree.
All right. Now, how do you feel the internet has affected the scene?
You know, at first it started affecting it very badly. A lot of bands, smaller bands, we're not talking about Metallicas or Slayers, we're talking about smaller bands, not as small as, let's say, these bands, but bands that are in the scene, are signed, but aren't huge. We're losing a lot of money because they survive by people buying the records. That's how the label keeps them signed, that's how the label supports their lifestyle, their buzz, their touring. That's how it goes. Now, when people started downloading these bands started losing record contracts because they weren't selling enough records. And it was very sad, and they were very disappointed because I understand the kids, they don't want to pay the amount, but the kids, I think, don't understand that that's what keeps these, you know, medium-level bands afloat. Now, for bands like this, it's been amazing because you have MySpace now, you have internet where you could put your record online and have people buy it online or do whatever without being signed and having to owe all that money to the record label. So it's been really great for them. So, you know, it's the way you treat it, and it's really in the end up to the fans and what you're willing to do for your band, you know?
As an interviewer, what's one thing you've learned the hard way that you didn't know and you just kind of have to be in the business to find out?
Don't be fucked up while you do your interview, kids. It's hard. You just start to space out.
All right. Don't drink, don't get high when you hit the mic. All right.
After the mic, it's on.
Pow, baby. All right. Tell everybody out there where we can find you on the web.
You can find me at Juliya.net. That's my official website. You can also find me at Mistress Juliya at MySpace. Well, Mistress Juliya, MySpace.com, right?
Yeah, go to MySpace and type in, you lazy
Juliya.
Ass. You got a search engine.
Yeah, you got to search. I'm not very internet savvy. I have a, you know, I'm like, I check my emails and I'm
You got
done.
someone to do that
I
for
like a porn and then I'm done, you know? Well, I mean, yeah, I do have somebody run the website, and if it's, you know, if it's actual real questions, I have them forward me the questions. The ones that are like, Julia, I want to see your tits. I'm not going to answer by being like,
right,
no,
okay,
you
fair
cannot
enough.
see my tits.
And you can't see mine. No, wait, you can, if you're good. All right. Woo! Look out. All right, Juliya C, LieTv.com.